Hi, everybody, and warm welcome to another riveting episode of The Books Don't Lie. My name is Amit, and I'm back again today with a book which for sure is going to change your mind, your way of thinking, and probably the only book today available in the market which has the story of some of the most influential people ever born and got success too. I'm talking about a book called The Diary of a CEO, produced by one of the most famous podcasters as of now on YouTube. And this gentleman has primarily interviewed some of the most influential people with context to every single domain, and their thoughts, their inputs are there in this particular book. Now, before I talk more about this particular book, I want to tell you about the 4 basic pointers which I have primarily learned, and I think I'm already implementing it. And I would really want all of you to go ahead and probably use and see if that helps in your personal space. Point number 1, which primarily talks about a concept called pressure is privilege. Now, I know a lot of people have indeed spoken about it, and people say pressure is not good, pressure makes you do unwanted stuff, and things are not going to go in your favor. But if you listen to me and listen to the philosophy of a lot of great individuals, pressure is something which is there for privileged individuals. Pressure is something which is not there for every single common human being. And if you're given a pressure, which means you have something extraordinary in you, and that's one of the reasons why you have pressure. Let me explain with a theory, with a test which has been conducted in New York way many years ago. So for example, in New York, somewhere in 1960s to 80s, there was a research of 183,000 people, wherein these people were interviewed at a time with 2 different questions. The first question was, do you like stress? Wherein people said yes, some said no. And the second question was, do you love stress or do you hate stress? So whosoever said that I love stress, they got a longer life, longer span when they reached some of the old stage of their careers compared to those who died premature. And these were the people who primarily said, I do not enjoy feeling stress, or I do not like the stressful factors. Now, one of the story is stress is something which nobody likes. But trust me, stress is something, if you're able to handle it, you can make a life out of it. Example number 2. I'm not sure if you all have heard about a great Spaniard called Rafael Nadal. He is one of the top-notch competitors in the field of lawn tennis, and he today is one of the GOATs of lawn tennis. When he was 19, he was diagnosed with a very rare ankle injury, which at the age of 19 produced and probably resulted in a statement saying, you cannot play more than a year, and there's no guarantee that you would able to play this sport for more than a year or 2. And every single year, whenever he went onto tennis calendar, he knew the fact that there could be a day, or tomorrow could be the day which become his last day in the field of lawn tennis. Guess what? Today he is somebody who is known as the king of clay, and he has notched 14-time Roland Garros in a field where it is considered to be the most taxing, the most exhausting approach on human body. And all these things have happened because he knew that his end is near, and any given day he could stop playing the game he loved so dearly. So pressure is privilege. Point number 2, which talks about behavior change leads to success in everybody's life. If you listen to me and if you mark my words, behavior change is one of those rare concepts which not every human being is able to adapt and probably do as per the changes. This is also one of the reasons why people struggle in the late 60s and 70s and 80s, because changing habits at a later stage is somewhat difficult and somewhat painful as well. And change is never easy. This is also one of the reasons why families suffer, the relationship go for a toss, because people are not willing to change for others. It has been observed that people, those who have defined change or accepted change in their mid-30s, 40s, and 50s, are going to be more successful compared to the ones who are not at all, let's say, accepting change, or they do not accept change. So anybody who's love to change, anybody who's willing to change and learn a new path is bound to be more successful compared to one who is not ready to go for a change. So if you are ready to change your life for good, I think it will produce results. Point number 3, which talks about normality is ignored and absurdity sells. I have two brilliant examples for all of you. Example number one, I'm sure you all have heard about Tesla. The Tesla cars are world popular, world famous, and today if you check the sales of Tesla is one of the hot selling cars in the US and the European market. Now guess what? The moral of the story is Tesla cars are different. Tesla cars are not normal. I'll tell you the reason why they are abnormal. Number one, if you check any standard car system in India, they primarily talk about three different driving modes. They talk about comfort, they talk about normal, they talk about sport. But if you check the overall functions of so-called the Tesla car, they have inbuilt some of the rare functions which you have never ever heard previously in any of the cars. For example, they have a feature called FAT. You heard that right. They have a feature called, for example, a biomechanic weapon. They have a feature called Ludicrous or Ludicrous Plus, which is an extreme level of speed. Now, had they gone ahead and probably prepared themselves with so-called similar sports, eco and normal mode, I'm not sure they would have got the success what they've got today. Tesla is one of those companies in the world where they do not spend a single rupee on marketing, and yet they are highly successful. What makes them successful? They are rare in their nature. Let me give you another example. I'm sure you all watch YouTube and you are watching me on YouTube right away. How many channels are there on YouTube which primarily talks about a concept of cannibalism or a process where they show you the human caricature, the human meat, or the food shows wherein you cook human beings and eat, compared to normal food channels and other channels that talk about variety of meat. Imagine a channel on YouTube which is producing a kind of a different approach altogether. Let's say a channel producing a concept of a human meat compared to an animal meat. Don't you think that channel is going to go and probably blow up as well? So in today's concept, if you remember, hate sells more compared to love. And that's what I'm trying to say. If you want to become famous, if you want to drive crazy numbers, crazy sales, you got to be different. The normal approach in today's arena is not of great importance, and it may not work in day-to-day businesses, in day-to-day lifespan, and it will be tough for you to survive. So you got to have some sort of activity or some sort of talent which is rare in the market. Last but not the least, I want to talk about a process called, which is very, very interesting. It talks about teach to master. This is very popular saying. The saying is, if you want to learn, if you want to know something, learn about it. If you want to understand something, write about it. But if you want to master something, then you must make an obligation to teach to XYZ. Yes, you heard that right. I'm going to give you an example. I have a kid who is around 7 years of age, my own kid, and one of the crazy things which I do with her is this. Every damn day, whenever she comes to me from school, I ask her to repeat to me and probably teach me what she has learned in the school. The reason behind this play is to make sure that whatever she has learned, she's able to produce the same output, the same knowledge what she has already captured in the school. And by doing this way, she's able to learn and remember more often than not, compared to going to tuition classes or doing something which she does normally in her real life. So if you want to master something, do remember, if you want to master something, you must make an obligation to teach. Well, that's it. This is all about the diary of a CEO, and these were some of the most memorable points which I kind of found out, and I was very happy to share with you. In case if you have a question, pin it out. If you have any suggestion, let me know. And one request I have for all of you, please apply these principles so that you get growth and development in your personal space. Till next time, you take care, and thanks for watching.